Hey, what's up, guys? We're back for a quick pop in. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Thursday to everyone. It is a lovely, lovely day. Thank God the rain has stopped here, child. Because listen, oh my God. Thank y'all for joining. I'm Kim Morrell. This is the Kim Morrell Show. We got a few topics that we want to breeze through, honey, and keep you guys updated on what's going on out in these YouTube streets. All right, we're gonna get into this our Real Housewives of Atlanta news. We got some updates on that. We got to update you guys on the Diddy news and updates for his court slash trial. And we got to get into some other things with Sidor, child. I'm sick of her, but we're gonna entertain it. All right. Thank y'all for coming back. Hello, hello, and hello. Let's jump on in. Everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment. All right, let's go ahead and get this first topic up, honey. As promised, Sidor, honey, is doing interviews left and right, and she is blasting Ralph, and we're here for it, I guess. Okay. So it said that Drew says that the last straw in her marriage with Ralph was a woman claiming to be pregnant by him and him disrespecting her son Josiah and her mother. Let's get into what she had to say on the Breakfast Club about Ralph.
That was the last straw. That was it for you.
I mean, it was that, and it was just the continuous behavior of like dealing with other women, and then coming on the show, and then there was women saying, "Oh, they were pregnant." There was a particular woman who reached out and said she was pregnant with his baby, and that was a big thing. That was probably one of the biggest straws. Mm-hmm. And then it was the disrespect of my mom, of my family, the disrespect of my son Jojo, my 14-year-old. So it was just very layered. And finally, he moved out of the bedroom. So we separated, and we were separated at the time. So it was a huge separation. We were trying to repair things, but ultimately it just wasn't able to be repaired.
And people thought you cheated at one time.
Well, that's what he says. It was almost like, oh, she's hanging out and having fun. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is my moment, and now it flipped to like a victim mentality when that really wasn't what it was.
That was the last straw. That was it.
Drew be lying, don't she? Now I ain't saying that some of that stuff didn't happen. But Drew always liked to skip over the fact that she was out cheating or maybe doing some things too, because you said in an interview now, we talked about it earlier, that you were dating somebody, and then you say, who, me? No, I'm not dating anyone. I'm still married. So I think Drew kind of likes to leave things out whenever she's trying to air out Ralph, and they try to flip it and ask her questions about, well, what are you doing? You're talking about Ralph, like, ooh, that's kind of bad what Ralph is doing. But word on the curb is that you were doing this or that, and she likes to skip over that and be like, no, that's not true. When we've heard through the grapevine that some of those things are definitely true. But I don't know, Drew. I don't know. She says that she heard that that Ralph may have had a child coming, or some woman got pregnant by him. It's possible if he was out there cheating and raw dogging, it could be. But you still letting him put food in your mouth with that same hand that he was over there doing whatever he was doing with said woman that he allegedly knocked up. So obviously you didn't care too much about it. But let's continue. Ciao. I don't know. Let's get into this Real Housewives of Atlanta news. You guys know the reunion seating chart has been released, and the reunion is getting ready to be coming out. I'm gonna watch it because you guys know most of the time the reunion be better than the show. A lot of things that don't come out on the show comes out at the reunion. People be trying to pull out their good reads and be acting a little bit more extra on the reunion versus the show. So I do tend to gravitate more towards the reunion and pay attention more towards the reunion versus the show sometimes, because it does give more. But as you guys can see on the screen, it says that the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 official reunion seating chart. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and see who's sitting where. Of course, first seat is Portia right here on the left. Of course, this is Andy with his messy self, and then Shamia has first chair. Okay. So Shamia and Portia got first chair. So next over on the left is Phaedra. Y'all know she just came back premiering her first episode this past Sunday. Then over to the right here is Angela Oakley. All right. So then back over to the left is Cynthia Bailey. And then we got Kelly up over here. And then underneath, damn, Drew got pushed way down, didn't she? Damn. Cynthia way up here, she a friend of, and Drew down here, and she got a whole peach. Okay, Drew. All right then, and Cynthia ain't really had no damn storyline this season. I don't know who put that season chart together, but whatever. So you guys may see somebody that's missing. You guys do not see Britt Eady on the list. Britt Eady chose to not be at the reunion, and we get ready to get into why. Okay, yeah, you done effed up your reunion check, and you need to get that check because word on the curb is you don't be paying people, and that you owe your decorator and your event planner, and you ain't up and paid her. So you should have had your ass at that reunion, so you could have got that reunion check and paid said individual. So you done skipped out on that check and you needed it, girl. So let's get into what's going on. All right, yes, yeah, here you go, child. You do not see Britt Eady anywhere, but let's get on into why. All right, let's get into why, because she was in her damn feelings and she decided to skip it. She should have skipped her ass right on up on that stage and got that check. But let's get into it. All right, so Britt Eady, honey, Britt Eady says it, as everyone now knows. Now she addresses, this is her addressing not attending the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. Mind you, this is her first reunion. This is her first year on the show, and she decides not to be on here. Maybe she ain't coming back next season. Okay, that's what it's giving. When you skip out like that, you just don't give a damn, and you just know that you're not returning. So I don't see her coming back because she was not a fan favorite, especially after that Kenya situation. A lot of people who were going up for Kenya are really won't see it for Brit after that. And she kind of got her ass tore up this year. And now that all of this other stuff is coming out, these allegations of her not paying people and her having that sucky event on the show, people still talking about that. And let's get into what she had to say. Britt Eady says, in response to not returning or attending the reunion, as everyone is now aware, I'm not attending the reunion. Duh. This was my decision. She says that this events of this season have devastated me, and while I cannot say much right now, I do want to set the record straight about one thing. She says the graphic sexual photo surrounding the event of episode 5. She says, as the episode makes clear, she says, I did not see the photos at the time. Rather, I was made aware of the photo being presented at the event, and based on what I was told, assumed what it was, somehow a photo of me, which is why I reacted in the way that I did. I do not know who was in that photo, but upon seeing it for the first time recently, I now know that it was not me. She says, I look forward to seeking accountability and moving past this dark part of my life. She signs off as Brit with the heart emoji. Okay. So she's, I guess, still in her feelings about this damn these pictures or photos or whatever happened between she and Kenya. She's saying it's not her, so I'm not sure what the hell is going on here. But anywho and anyway, it gives that she may not be coming back next season. She did not have a good season. This was, like I said, her first season. I think she's gonna bow out gracefully, honey. Now, y'all do know prior to her coming on Real Housewives of Atlanta, she did have the internet scrubbed of certain pictures and things that she engaged in prior, because she was on OnlyFans and busting it wide open and doing some real nasty shit. And when she got on the show, y'all know, when people see you on reality shows, they pull up your past. They want to know who you are, especially if you're not sharing your life as much as they want to, or want you to rather, on the show. They're going to dig you up and find out everything about you. And then you're going to be looking damn crazy. So she's decided to back out and not attend, okay? All right, so somebody else who has something to say about the reunion. They wanted to be there, but Bravo said, yeah, girl, no, find something else to do. We're busy. Kenya is speaking out because she wanted to be at the damn reunion, but she was disinvited. Okay. Let's get that up so y'all can see it, honey. Kenya was disinvited to the reunion, child. All right, so Kenya Moore speaks on being disinvited by Bravo to participate in the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 reunion taping. Let's get into what she had to say, because she did make a statement. Y'all see the seating chart again. It probably would have balanced out with maybe Brit being here and then Kenya underneath. It would have been a little hang off or whatever. But or maybe if Kenya would have been invited to attend, since Brit didn't want to be there, it would have balanced it out. But yeah, it's weird. So Kenya Moore says, I'm disappointed to not be a part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta 16 reunion taping today. Okay, says it. Please know that I would take full accountability for my actions and deeply apologize to all those affected, including Brittany. She said, the cast, crew, guests, and viewers, I look forward to seeing you all back on Bravo soon. So could they be possibly in talks of trying to maybe try Kenya coming back maybe next season or in seasons to come. I don't know. She's being very apologetic when before she was kind of, keeping her stance on, she felt that, what she did was not that bad, or maybe Brittany Eady should be fired too. She was more on that versus being an apologetic person that she is now. So people, I think, maybe got in her ear and said, hey girl, look, you are not taking accountability, which is why Bravo is not bending on bringing you back. We've been hearing rumors about her having financial issues with her home, with her business, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not sure, but what I do know is she was disinvited to the reunion. And Phaedra, I hope you got some good reads, honey. And Drew, I hope you don't get up there crying. And I know Portia did say that she was going to have lots of receipts to kind of back up some things because she know the girls are going to be coming for her this season at a reunion. Y'all know Shamil, she usually have a little read, a little nasty read sometime. Hopefully she don't get up there barking like her ass did on the show. You can okay, whenever she was arguing with Brit, I was like, Lord, what is this child? You up here barking like a damn dog? That's not cute, girl. But we're gonna see what it's giving. I hope they get up there and act up just a little bit to get the ratings up, because this season has been a drag. All right, a full drag. But let's get to the next topic. Okay. Speaking of the two of them, oh my God. Yeah, I ain't gonna show them because we already saw it. Yeah, we don't need to see that again. All right, moving on. Let's get into some Diddy news, child. Let's catch you guys up on what's going on in this damn Diddy case. Diddy was acting up in court today and about got his ass thrown out. Let's go ahead and look into it, honey. I knew it was coming. I knew it was bound to come. See, he started feeling himself thinking he running something in the court, and the judge had to remind him, I'm the judge, and your ass is about to be thrown up out of here if you don't get it together. And don't be sitting over there giving the jury eyes and looking at them too long and trying to act like you're trying to intimidate somebody into leaning into maybe judging in your favor whenever they get ready to give their account of what they feel in terms of you being guilty or not guilty. I know that this damn case is starting to make him nervous by everything that's coming out. His team, I don't think is doing such a great job with this case, to be honest with you. Now, yesterday was probably the first time that I probably was slightly nervous whenever they cross-examined Cassie's friend, the one that said that she was hung over the balcony. She was not a great witness at all. I'm not even gonna lie. From everything that I went back and read over and listening to her testimony, I don't think she was a great witness. Maybe it was all the drugs that she did that fried her damn brain. I don't know if she forgot her helmet in the car, which she should have had on when her ass was on the stand. I don't know what it was, but she was not a great witness. They could have probably left her out. But at the end of the day, they did have a lot of other good discoveries in the case on yesterday as well as today. We get ready to get into that. And I think Diddy is becoming slightly nervous that maybe, just maybe, he may be losing this case with everything that's been talked about. Let's get into it. Y'all won't up there crying no more, Mellow Man, because y'all know Drew Honey gonna whip up some tears if she don't do nothing else. If she don't have nothing to talk about, baby, she gonna start crying. And when they try to hold her accountable, she gonna start crying. And I don't want to see that. I really don't. I don't. But let's get into this Diddy news. So Diddy is threatened with removal from the court for jury interaction during the SEX trafficking trial. Let's get into Sozi Radio. Let's go.
Happened inside of the courtroom just now. I was listening, waiting behind while the judge was talking to the attorneys in the Sean Diddy Combs case. All of a sudden, the judge said, I want to make my own record. And he began to admonish the lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, about Sean Diddy Combs' behavior inside the courtroom today. He said that he could not have been clearer earlier this morning when he told everyone they are not to react, not to make any facial expressions, or in any way try to engage with the jury. He said, was I not clear about that? Agnifilo agreed that he was. He then began to admonish Sean Diddy Combs, the defendant in this federal trial, that he was nodding and that he was looking directly at the jurors. He said he cannot do that, and he threatened him. If you do it again, he could possibly exclude Sean Diddy Combs from the duration of his trial. Remember, this is a defendant fighting for his life. If he is convicted of all 5 federal charges, he could serve the rest of his life behind bars. And you're probably asking yourself, can a judge order a defendant to be quite so stoic and straight-faced? Well, the stakes are so high. Well, this judge is saying that if he engages with that jury again, if he nods vigorously, if he's nodding, if he's looking straight at them, then he could do a curative instruction to the jurors that the judge threatens, you don't want me to give. We'll see what happens for us the trial. But remember, Sean Diddy Combs on trial, now being told that he cannot interact with the jury, nodding or looking at them. I wonder, will he be able to do that for the duration of the trial? And if he does remain stoic, will the jurors read something negative and adverse into that? Would they assume that he is somehow agreeing to the testimony if he does not respond? This has happened in courtrooms. It's just happened inside of the courtroom just now. I was listening.
So he was given some type of interaction with the jurors, and the judge didn't like it because, Diddy has a way of coercing people. Maybe he could have somebody on the outside, maybe paying somebody on the jury. That would not surprise me if they came out and said that Diddy or one of Diddy's people in his camp got to somebody on the jury selection and paid them off well to kind of lean towards his way of not or not giving their account of him being guilty or something like that, or saying not guilty so that he can get off. That would not surprise me. So with him nodding, it could have been some type of code, because y'all know most people who are, especially in jail, they speak in codes because all those phone calls are recorded. So it would not surprise me if Diddy was able to get to, or someone outside of Diddy's camp or in his camp got to somebody on the jury selection, and they're probably doing some type of code mess in court. So I'm glad that the judge picked up on that so that this can be a fair trial. Okay. Yeah. Y'all know people be like nodding or putting up one finger or, rubbing their nose, different things and only a person on the inside of that situation would know what that means. If they kind of like brush their nose, y'all know what I'm talking about. Brush their nose, wink their eye, turn their head a certain type of way, do certain codes with their hands. Yeah, it could be a way of trying to coerce somebody on the jury, and I'm glad that the judge picked it up and threatened to throw his ass up out of there if he did it again. So he would hate to not be sitting in the courtroom while testimony is going on because of how he's been acting. So get it right, Diddy. Get it right, or they're gonna throw your ass up out of there. All right, let's move on to the testimony of this trial, because baby. This one's kind of long, too, so y'all be patient with me, child. All right, let's get into some testimony. Child. All right, so witness Jane takes the stand during Diddy's trial. She details her relationship and the first time he arranged for her to have intercourse with another man. Now, it sounds like this is a freak off, because if he's arranging for her to have intercourse with somebody else, like, why would you need to do that? It's given prostitution, and I'm glad that they're having all these people come up here to testify, and the judge and everyone else in the courtroom, including the jury, they're starting to see that there is a pattern of behavior with Diddy. All these people that are around him are for a reason, okay? These are not your girlfriends, like R. Kelly tried to say with the girls that he was trafficking as well. Azriel Curry, Clary, and all those girls. Is given if you arrange an sex with someone for someone else, it's given that you're the pimp, or you are trafficking and or prostituting, and that's what you're on trial for. Let's get into these testimonies, okay? Now it says, during day 17 of Diddy's trial, Jane Doe took the stand to speak about her relationship with the mogul. She says that he previously dated one of her friends. However, in my Kimmy voice, he later pursued her, and after her friend got engaged and moved overseas, she decided to give things a shot with Diddy. They had their first date in 2021. She says that they talked about her past, and she acknowledged that the father of her child is not too fond of Diddy. Now, Jane detailed the first time that Diddy gave her ecstasy. We knew that was coming. And also talked about the first time he arranged for her to have intercourse with another man while he watched. So same thing that he was doing with Cassie, we're hearing that he's doing with this girl as well. With Cassie being gone and breaking free from Diddy, Diddy needed someone else to fill that void. And that's exactly what he was probably doing to this girl. Well, that is what he was doing with her. If you were putting drugs in her, he gave Cassie ecstasy. So it's giving that this is all Diddy knows. Same bullshit. He started out giving Cassie ecstasy, and from ecstasy, it became the pink cocaine and other drugs that she got on, ketamine. She talked about all of the drugs that Diddy had her on. She was on so many damn drugs, she didn't even know if it was damn night or day. So that's how he do. He started them out small, and then the next thing you know, you just strung out. All right. So let's get into these testimonies, because baby, it said the witness using synonym Jane Doe takes the stand. All right, let's get into what it said. Shout out to the Shade Room. It says the witness using the synonym Jane Doe takes the stand. Prosecutors asked Jane who she was in a relationship with between 2021 and 2024. She responded, Sean Combs. She says the two met while she was on a 2020 girls trip in Miami, and Diddy was dating her friend at the time. Now, Jane says that that the two often refer to each other as Sesame Street characters. She was Bert and Diddy was Ernie. Now, said that she was really charming, really nice. She said that he was really charming and he was really nice, and I was already drawn to him pretty instantly. Jane says she mentions that at one point her friend became upset because she thought that Jane was trying to get at Diddy. She insists that Diddy is the one who pursued her. Of course, he's looking for another Cassie. He don't want you, child. He did not want you. He want another Cassie. All right. So Jane says that she ultimately decided to give the relationship with Diddy a shot when the friend that he was dating got engaged to another man and moved overseas. It says that Jane says that her first date with Diddy happened in Miami, January of 2021. He got her to a hotel and the date lasted 5 days long. Now, she explains that the two spoke about her past and says that the father of her child was not fond of Diddy. Goes on to say that the two went on another trip the next month to Turks and Caicos. Jane says that Diddy's assistant, KK, Corinna, what's her name? Corinna something Coram, came along for the trip. Now, she's the one that supplies the drug Giannas and all that for the FOs and the SDX stuff that Diddy have going on. Now, she says that they also had a personal chef, photographer, butler, and barber on the 15-day trip. I can't imagine what happened on that 15-day trip. I can't imagine. So yeah, that Christine Corium, she's like the Ghislaine Maxwell, if you will. So Jane said that the first time that Diddy gave her ecstasy, they were at the pool. She says Diddy claimed that it'll be more fun if she took the drugs. Says that after as the two were walking down to the beach, Jane says she fell down. And something else is in that damn ecstasy. The ecstasy is supposed to have you upbeat to where you can keep going, and it makes you over sexualized. So whatever was in that, it might have been that ketamine, horse tranquilizer. That's what it sounds like. Y'all remember Q from day 26 says 1 minute he was upbeat, he was in his right mind. The next thing he don't remember nothing. He actually collapsed as well. So it sounds like it might have been that good old tranquilizer that he liked to give people when he's trying to take said advantage. Let's continue. Says that she was helped by KK and the butler. She claims that at one point KK put her in the shower. Now, at the end of the trip, she said that Diddy offered her $10,000 because she had been away from her work as an influencer for a while. So it says that Jane says that the two kept their relationship pretty private and that she only recalls only posting about him on social media once. Now, originally living on the East Coast, Jane moved to California in June of 2021. She says Diddy gave her $6,000 for a moving truck. She says that he also sent her money casually throughout their time together. Now, between February and May of 2021, Jane says that Combs would fly her to Miami every other week to see him and be in them damn FOs. All right, let's continue. Jane explains the first time Diddy set her up to have sex with another man while he watched. She says that they would sometimes watch the porno of the graphic and that it would lead into conversation about a fantasy. She says that she saw one of his assistants setting up the room for them and then seeing what she called the fantasy guy. Now, this is reminiscent of what Cassie went through, you guys. This is Cassie relived all over again, from her taking the ecstasy, then her being drugged up, to Diddy now warming her up. And that's how he does. It's a pattern of behavior. He's warming her up for her to have frequent freak offs, because what man in their right mind will allow and or be comfortable with their woman who they say they love and in a relationship with sit back and watch another man please said woman while you pleasure yourself? It's giving chuckhold. If y'all don't know what chuckhold is, look it up. All right, it's when a person is in a relationship and they sit back and they watch and they're more fascinated with someone else pleasing their significant other over them. All right, let's continue. She identifies the other man as Don. She says that as they were in the suite, that Diddy directed her to stand up and then she started to dance. She says that Don was there in his underwear and Diddy was master of debating. Okay. Says that Jane says that Diddy was being encouraging and sweet. Of course he was. She says that I was ready to speed things up a bit. She said that she asked Diddy for some protection, but he insisted that the guys were tested. So same thing that he was doing with Cassie. Cassie wound up having several different things as well. Y'all remember she talked about the sores in her mouth. So Diddy did not want anyone using protection, including this particular woman here. She wanted, she asked for it. He said no, the guys were tested. How he know? Anyway, Jane says that after her sexual encounter with Don, that he left, and she then had sex with Diddy. Same thing with Cassie. Damn. She says that the two were happy at the end of it and even went on a yacht the next day. Same shit Cassie had to do, Lord. Diddy is, ooh. So the Jane says, I felt excited. I was happy. It was taboo. It was fun. And I had a good time with my partner. She thought that it was just a one-time thing, not knowing that it would open Pandora's box in the relationship. No, he was beefing her up to traffic her. That's what it was. Prostitute her out. See, this is how you lure him. He act like he want to be in a relationship with him. Diddy don't want no woman. It's all a ploy to make this woman think that Diddy is into her. And then the next thing you know, he's telling her, oh, take this ecstasy. Let's have fun. Let's turn up. And then she takes that and it goes from that to other harder drugs. And then he says, oh, I want to try something. Let's spark up our relationship. Let's spark up our sex life. And let's bring this person into the bedroom. And it goes from this person to you having frequent FOs. And the next thing you know, you're being prostituted by somebody who's supposed to be your man. In so many words. All right. So Jane says that for the remainder of our relationship, that open door was unable to be shut. Says that there was so much of it after, and it was too much of it, according to Jane Doe. Okay. Says that Jane says that when she attempted to tell Diddy that she didn't want to have sex with other men anymore, he said, if you want to break up, that's fine. He threatened to stop paying her rent since he wouldn't be dating her anymore. She says that the conversation was never about breaking up, but about the sexual encounters with other men. That's a sense of control there. That's him controlling her. You don't do this, I'm cutting your money off. Okay. Says that Jane says that she always kept herself prepared with hair and nails done because Diddy would give her short notices before these encounters. She always made sure proper child care was set up for her child. So this is a whole mama out here on this bullshit. Out here with unprotected people kissing your child, when you're kissing other strange men who you don't know, and you're trusting Diddy that these people have been tested. Same shit he told Cassie when she's sitting there with full sores in her mouth and on her body because she's with strange men from Craigslist and other social media platforms that they're finding these damn male escorts to come in and have these regular FOs. Let's continue. Jane says that her relationship with Diddy consumed her. She says that it also got in the way of her income. Now, she made money via social media, but that declined because she prioritized the relationship. She said that the most that Diddy ever gave her was $20,000. And after she told him that Diddy ever gave her was $20,000 after she told him that she needed some furniture. Okay. So Young Miami must have been doing some real freaky deaky stuff, because y'all know the amount of money she was getting paid, $200,000, and then he dropped her down to $150,000. So she must have been doing some real freaky stuff. Like, damn, they must have been putting it in your nose and in your damn ear for that amount of money. I don't know. Let's continue though. So she says that Diddy once asked her how much she wanted for allowance. So she says that she asked for $15,000, but Diddy gave her $10,000 instead. This was how much she paid in rent for her place. Damn, $10,000 for rent. All right, let's continue. Says that Jane testified that Diddy referred to the nights of sex and the other men as hotel nights or debauchery. Said that Jane says that these hotel nights took place in Los Angeles, New York, Miami, and Turks and Caicos. Same thing that Cassie had to do. She says that she discussed travel arrangements with Christina Coria, Diddy's chief of staff, aka Ghislaine Maxwell, if you will, his travel agent, and other or one of his assistants. All right. Now, she testified that some hotel nights could last more than 24 hours. She said that they could go through more than 24 bottles of baby oil in any given time. She was being drugged. Now, in the baby oil, as I told you guys, ketamine was also in the baby oil. Okay, you guys not know what that is, you have to look it up. All right, pink cocaine was being used because Diddy used it. Whatever he used, you know, he was given to the girls. All right, so she stayed high and was made to do freak offs. He called them hotel nights. We know them as Cassie introduced to the world as being called freak offs. Now, they said the court has come to a close for the day. Jane will continue her testimony on tomorrow. So she is opening up, as they say, Pandora's box. Her testimony, as you guys can see, is very parallel to what Cassie testified in her statement and in her lawsuit against Diddy, in terms of him making her do these FOs year after year after year, day after day, night after night, you name it. Okay, just days at a time. He's just sitting back, pleasuring himself, watching this person degrade herself with strange men, unprotected, mind you. So there's no telling what she has. Okay, there's no telling what she has. You know, there's some diseases, STDs, that you can treat, but you can never get rid of. Okay, like the herpes and other things like that. You guys are gonna look those up. So I can't imagine somebody telling me when I say, hey, I want to use protection, they say, nah, this person's been tested. Can I see the test? Let me see the test. All right, Diddy is sick as hell. And the fact that he's got girls, the fact that he's a father of girls is so beyond me. Now, if you guys, speaking of girls, have you guys noticed that his daughters have not stepped foot back into the courtroom after Cassie's testimony of what she went through with the sores in her mouth, with being hit, with when they played the video? His daughters were in the courtroom when the CNN video, the unedited version, because we saw the edited version because it was team too much. Okay, they saw the unedited version in court of what Cassie, who they knew because they grew up seeing Cassie, and Cassie was also around their mom. So they saw this person as maybe like family, so to speak. Okay, they were cool with Cassie. So to see her in this predicament and hear the things that their father was doing to this girl behind the scenes, they ain't been back to the courthouse since. None of his daughters. Now his sons, they come in every day. I've been seeing video of them getting off that damn bus or whatever it is, that van, and they're going there supporting Diddy every day. And I feel like Diddy wanted those girls to be in the courtroom for some type of sympathy for the jury, for the, for the courts, period. But I think it became too much for them. Hell, just me reading the shit was a lot. So imagine them sitting there and hearing these testimonies of these women and other people getting on the stand, especially Cassie, when she became emotional, sitting there watching her pregnant, almost 9 months. Well, she was 9 months pregnant, talking about what their father did to this person. Okay, well, she had bruises and all these things going on and being made to be in FOs. It was a lot for them. So they've not stepped foot back, and I wouldn't either. Shit. And at the end of the day, we will pick up tomorrow where we left off with these testimonies, because I'm interested to see what else is going on here. Again, it's the same thing that this is Cassie 2.0. That's what it gives. Okay. Yeah. He slowly introduced her into being the next Cassie and any other woman that he's been with. Lori Harvey, we need to hear from you, dear. Okay, let me go ahead and call your name. Lori Harvey. You had all of the things that they're saying. Young Miami says that they had to be made to wear white nail polish because Diddy liked the way it looked against black skin, because he liked BBCs, men with BBCs in the dark skin. That was his fetish. So we've seen Lori Harvey, when she dated Diddy, that's all she wore was white nails. So we need to hear from you, Lori Harvey. You also dated his son as well. So it's given that maybe you were doing some FOs, maybe, and it's a great time to go ahead and talk about it. Maybe you're embarrassed. I don't know. But it's given that she may have been involved in said situation, because any woman that Diddy dates, he's not dating them because he's in love with them or want them. It's a cover up for him, because he is really infatuated with men. He likes to sit back and watch the man punishing a woman in an sexual nature. And that's what it gives. Okay. In the same with Young Miami, I think she definitely needs to be on the stand, because it's given that she was a bit of a madam, so to speak, after she told one of Diddy's girls, don't make me make Diddy make you get on your knees and please me. That gives that you have some type of guilty pleasure as well in some of these FOs. So we're going to see where this case takes us and who else will be testifying and how much grimy it's going to get, because baby, it's been a lot, right? Let's get back to the main screen, honey. Let's get back to the main screen. I'm pretty sure somebody said, I hope Cassie's husband don't leave her after this. I'm pretty sure Cassie has had a lot of pillow talks to tell her husband what she's gone through with Diddy. Keep in mind now, he's been around Diddy as well because he was also the trainer. He was Diddy and Cassie's trainer before he and Cassie started dating. So Cassie would be telling him little things, and he saw some things that was going on as well. So please understand, he knows. I'm pretty sure he knows way more than we think he knows about what's been going on with Cassie when she was with Diddy. Okay, I'm pretty sure she told him everything. She had to, and she definitely had to prepare him with him coming to the court to sit up under these testimonies of the questions that were asked and the things that she had to reveal. I'm pretty sure these things he knew. It was not shocking to him. So he's been sticking by her. That's real love right there, to stay with somebody after they told you they've been with probably hundreds of men, and you come in behind that raw, obviously, because they got 3 babies now. Okay. And this girl that sat on the stand and said she had sores in her mouth, bitch. I don't know if I can love somebody like that. I don't know. I ain't that strong, but go off, honey. Go off. Let's get out of here, guys. Love you guys down. I will see you guys in the morning for Car Chronicles. Regular time, okay? Regular time. In case something else comes up, then I'll send you out a notification. But as for now, we will have Car Chronicles regular time. Thank you so much, KBR. Thank you, Belle Wilson. Thank you, Scorpion Miss. Thank you, Tyra. Thank you, Rose Armstead. Thank you, Truth TV Podcast, for modding for me. Thank you for all the content creators that stopped by as well. And Caramelians, thank y'all as well. Please don't forget to tap that like for the video to be pushed out into the algorithm, and tell a friend to come on over and subscribe to the Caramel Rail Show as well. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Love you guys down. Bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo. Go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.